Osasuna claimed a convincing 2-0 victory against Espanyol at the Salar in Matchday 37, a result that brings them closer to potentially qualifying for Europe next season. It also drags Espanyol into a relegation dogfight on the final weekend of the season. They had the first chance of the game, however, the visitors Javi Puado firing over the crossbar. Espanyol on the back of a difficult week, seeing how they lost the derby at home, which also meant that Football Club Barcelona were crowned LaLiga champions on their backyard. Osasuna, the fans were up for it, the players were up for it too. Ante Budimir linking up with Brian Zaragoza, who was making sure that the volume was continuously cranked up inside the ground. In this corner, this header from Lucas Torró, flying off the crossbar, managed to inject so much power and pace onto the header, completely unmarked in behind Kumbula, and nothing Joan Garcia could do but look and pray, and well, his prayers were answered as the ball flicked off the crossbar. Osasuna with an early warning sign. Dominated proceedings, and the flair players showed up in the final third. The likes of Aimar Oroz and Brian Zaragoza were up for it and were tearing Espanyol apart. Brian Zaragoza here linking up with Aimar Oroz, and slightly fortunate in how the goal came about. One of those seasons for Ante Budimir. Everything he touches ends up in the back of the net. He didn't know a great deal about this one. They all count towards his tally, which is now 21 for the season in La Liga, 24 in all competitions, his best season as a professional. It was a heavy blow for Espanyol on the back of a pretty miserable run of results, which has dragged them into relegation battle, which they thought they were free from. Sooner, everyone in the ground wearing the home team shirt. It was a cauldron of red shirts as Ante Budimir went down after that challenge from Galero. Nothing given by the referee. Espanyol's trying to get themselves back into the game, but there wasn't really too much on offer. Carlos Romero with this long distance effort, which was never troubling Sergio Herrera. Areso also provided width throughout the entire game, and he picked out Lucas Torró at the far post, who's always an imposing presence in the air. Kumbula overrunning it here and clattering into Jesus Areso. That yellow card means that the Albanian international will be ruled out from the final game of the season. Could be a costly booking for Espanyol. They'll be taking on Las Palmas in that final fixture. More defending to do here as Areso's cross found the head of Ibanez, again completely unmarked. Defence was leaking all over the place. Nobody tracking or even remotely aware of the presence of Ibanez inside the box. Antonio Roca getting another start on the right flank for Espanyol, linking up with Urco González here. Sergio Herrera quick off his line and in typical Sergio Herrera fashion turning to celebrate with the home fans. Rare outing from Carlos Romero on the right-hand side. He was cutting inwards, looking for his favoured left foot. Didn't quite wrap his foot around it as he would have liked. Javi Boado thinking about the shot, and in the end, when he did pull the trigger, he was unbalanced as Boyoma just nudged him. Good defending from the Cameroonian defender. Some fancy footwork yet again from Carlos Romero, who was probably the most active of any Espanyol players in the final 30. Teed up Edu Exposito for that shot, which was drilled low and firm, but it was a comfortable save in the end for Sergio Herrera. The substitutions would start to appear in the second half. Iker Munoz coming on, Ruben Garcia departing the field of play. And Quique Barja coming on to provide a bit of pace on the flank. Carlos Romero again, the focal point of the Espanyol attack. He started the move and he looked to tee up Boado for the finish. Sergio Herrera having to make two saves, or at least having to keep a close eye on the follow-up. Javi Boado didn't have his shooting boots on today. That volley from Roberto rather into the ground, and could have made it a little bit more difficult for Herrera had he made a clean impact on the volley. Edu Exposito trying his luck from a difficult angle, and on his left foot he was slightly audacious in that attempt. This time he set up Javi Boado, and it's that touch that lets him down. The Espanyol skipper going wide there. That touch on the left foot, and then he had no angle and couldn't really get any power in behind the shot. It was another big chance that went begging for Espanyol. The Espanyol players here, the Osasuna players rather, desperate for the referee to blow the whistle. As Quique Barja was struggling and would have to be replaced. Just feeling one of his muscles pop as he overstretched to try and keep that ball under control. So his season coming to an end a weekend early, as he would be replaced by Raúl García. Bretones also coming onto the field of play for Ante Budimir. So a switch up in the Osasuna attack. Raúl García with his first involvement of the game. His shot deflected over the crossbar by Fernando Calero. Carlos Romero yet again looking to curl that right foot shot over the crossbar. There's absolutely no shame in the performance of the Villarreal loanee. Roberto Fernandez looking to get onto the end of this cross. They were claiming that there was a foul as he leapt above Boyomo at the far post. At this stage, Alejo Veliz had also been brought into the fray to have a double-pronged attack for Espanyol. Two out-and-out centre forwards. Header going wide from Cadena. And then down the other end. Well, that did seem like maybe could have been some use of the arm from Jofre Carreras, but it was a clean control from him on the chest. Espanyol, as they push forward in search of a much-needed equaliser. They left gaps at the back, they were exposed, and Raúl García made the most to make it 2-0 and wrap up the win for the home side. El Salar erupting in the 90th minute. He still had plenty to do here, Raúl García. And he twisted and turned Álvaro Tejero, and then slotted it past the out-rushing Joan García. This back pass from Tejero was almost the final nail in the coffin for Espanyol, the illustration of how the game had panned out for them. Joan García saving his teammates' blushes with a goal line clearance, or close to goal line clearance at least. So celebrations for Vicente Moreno. Osasuna can still qualify for Europe for Espanyol. There's still work to do on match day 38.